Hello and welcome to another edition of ProtoMet's First Impressions. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about episode 0 of Kami no Kiba Jinga, or Fang of God Jinga. It's the character's name. So, let's go into this and talk about the fact that this is a show that's focusing on, I guess, the good version of a villain from a past Garo season, which I think is pretty interesting, but it does beg the question, is this supposed to be just a younger version of that character or a reincarnation of that character? It's kind of weird. I'm assuming it's a reincarnation of the character because the opening scene of this 0th episode basically follows up from the post-credit scene in the Kami no Kiba movie from the earlier this year, which I guess spoilers. I'm not going to say what happens in the post-credit scene. I'm just going to say that the opening scene for episode 0 basically calls back to that post-credit scene. Go watch the movie. So, I guess in this one, Jinga is a good guy who had to kill his dad because his dad turned into a horror. But his brother thinks that Jinga was the horror and murdered their parents. And then at the end of the episode, it reveals that the little brother has his memory sealed of the incident. So it looks like the kid's going to be a recurring character on the show, which honestly, I think that's kind of interesting, kind of having a sidekick character. I haven't really seen any shows have the sidekick character. The secondary knight, sure, but not a sidekick character, so that's going to be interesting. I can't really say too much about the talking ring that these guys usually have, because honestly, you see one talking ring, you've seen them all, except for when they do different things, which this one doesn't seem to be doing so far. So yeah, a good chunk of this episode is Jinga kind of having to deal with the fact that he did have to kill his dad, who had become a horror, which ties into the horror he's trying to kill in this episode, which is also a parent horror. It makes sense in the episode, but to be completely honest, I think it's an interesting concept to take a villain and have it be a good guy and see how that turns out. I'm curious to see if the past life will have any effect on the story, or if it's just used in the first episode as kind of the stepping stone, like, hey, now this character's a good guy for no reason. I don't know. So the partner character is there. I don't really think I can say too much about them. It's a female, a female Makai priestess, alchemist, depending on what your translation is. Whatever. She's his partner. She's not the original character's wife. Yeah, wife. So it's a completely different character in that regard. So, okay. I don't mind. The knight armor does look like a nice, shiny, actual knight version of Jinga's monster form from the original. The show he was originally from. So that was good. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this. This year has kind of been a bit on the fence for me regarding good tokusatsu shows. I mean, if you've heard me talk about Ultraman Rube lately, you would know that that one. But I'm not talking about that. I'm hoping this season is at least pretty interesting. I'm hoping that this is, the good season for this year. Fingers crossed, but if it's not, what a disappointment. So, yeah, I guess I'm really not too certain what to think about this 0th episode. I don't know why I guess since a lot of the episode is backstory for Jinga as a character in this continuity or whatever. Continuity in Garo is weird. I'm guessing that's why they labeled this one episode 0. So then next week would be episode 1, which does that mean I gotta do another one of these? Because technically that's the first episode? No, it doesn't. I'm not gonna make that mistake like I did with Lupin Ranger versus Pet Ranger, which is another issue. Again, this has not really been that good of a season for Tokusatsu so far, in my opinion. Maybe it'll get better. One can hope. So, until next time, guys. I don't know. I hope it's good. Until next time. See ya.